Hey, one more thing. I wanted to tell you guys. I thought you might be interested. This year at my school, and if I had been your coach, probably would have been the same thing. We have a new theme. Remember, it's not just bricks, it's some mortar. Well, our new theme is the 20th kid. The 20th kid. Okay? And what that theme's about is not following the crowd. Okay? 19 people out of 20 are doing this. You be this other thing. You might be the same as the other 19 people, but you have to think first before you do that. Okay, make sure it's a good decision for you. I don't know if you remember this or not, but I got to make a note so I don't forget to say something to you. Okay. Well, let me get back to the 20th kid. I'm going to say this to you right away. I am working a lot with music right now and movement. I've met this person, Dr. Lynn Kenny. I don't know how much I've told you about her. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but she's written a book called Musical Thinking, as well as some other books. And she's pretty well-known, respected, official person in the world, really, on movement. And she's really interested in what I'm doing with PE classes, with music and movement in PE classes. But what I want to do, what I've told her about, is I've told her about our musical routine to warm up for games that we used and to practice that we used for so long. And I'm just kicking myself that I never got that on video. Just kicking myself about this. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, you know what? I do know why I didn't. Because I always had the music on my phone. And also my camera was my phone. I thought about it a lot of times, and I always would think, well, I'll ask somebody to video this someday. But I never got around to it. So I never got you guys on video doing the musical warm-up routine. And I'm talking going all the way back to the old school triangle and triangle and behind and all that stuff we used to do by music. Not to mention the whatever it takes and the other things that we did last year. So one thing I might like to do one day is come by and videotape you guys, especially you guys that were on the team when all this stuff was happening, videotape you guys doing the old school warm-up routine to music. Well, all of you guys can be a part of it. You just have to learn a couple of simple exercises. It'll be easy for you to learn. People like Sage, who I don't really know and who wasn't on the team back then, but I'm sure could quickly learn and easily learn this. I hate for anybody to be left out of it. But I want to video you guys, and I want to send it to this person, Dr. Kenny, who's written this book, because she is going to be blown away by it. But anyway, I got sidetracked there. Let me get back to what I was going to tell you about, was our theme. Our theme was the 20th kid. Now, if you remember back when I was starting with you on teaching you skills, especially the finer points of skills, one thing I would say to you is this little detail of this skill is so small that 19 people out of 20 won't even notice it, won't even notice that it's happening, because they won't watch the game that closely. But the 20th person, that person will notice this detail, and that 20th person will notice that because of that detail, you are truly a special team. Now, I will say to you, one of those type of people is Coach Eddie. Coach Eddie is the type of person that when he watched you guys before he became your coach, he could see what you could do and what you were capable of doing because of knowing the little details to look at and knowing the potential and the possibility. Coach Eddie will be the first one to tell you that when a new coach takes over a team, one of the first things they have to do is they have to break a lot of bad habits that are already there before they can start teaching new habits. And I handed Coach Eddie over only a few bad habits, I'm sure, not hopefully not as many as a new coach usually gets. I'm not saying that I'm perfect or that everything I did was exactly right, but I think we did a lot of good things. And Coach Eddie is that 20th type person that is going to look at you guys and is going to say, wow, these kids know lots of details, lots of key details, and these kids work well together as a group. He's expressed this to me a number of times. So I like this idea of a 20th person out there, a wise person, this person who sits back and kind of looks and goes, yeah, or maybe sometimes the 20th person is going to look at a bunch of people who everyone else thinks are great and is just going to go, is going to be the person that notices that maybe it's not so great because of some key details. But I like this idea of a 20th person, a person that has an eye, that has wisdom, and that can see things. So I got to thinking in my mind, which I guess is where you think. I don't know where else I would think. So I didn't. Let me just say I got to thinking. Didn't need to add in my mind. Maybe that was just a confirmation to you guys that I still have one. At least I woke up today and it was there. No age jokes, please. Thank you. I got to thinking, how does a person become the 20th person? How does a person grow up to become that person that is the 20th person? How does that happen? What happens when that person's a kid that leads them to become that 20th person? So I like that idea. It started taking hold in my head. The 20th kid. How does it's like the 20th person in training, right? As the 20th kid. So the 20th kid, what things does a kid have to do to be the 20th kid? We know that an adult, to be the 20th person, the one that notices those key details, we know that's really about studying and really knowing something in detail. It's not about good and bad, by the way. It doesn't mean like the 20th person is good and everyone else is bad, because you can't really be the 20th person unless you have some expertise in what it is you're looking at. Like I could never be the 20th person in robotics, for example. To me, they're just these machines and they walk and they go backwards and forwards and wow, they're amazing. I mean, I don't know the key details about robotics. I just don't have the ability to know those details. So the 20th person is not about being smart or good, but it's about, I guess, having a level of understanding and a level of ability to study something. But it's also more than that. It's knowing that even though I don't have the key level of detail about this particular robot, because I don't know robotics enough to be the 20th person, someone does. And so if I'm not the 20th person, I can find the 20th person and I can say, hey, 20th person about robots, come over here. Is this robot really good or not? What's the real scoop? And they can say, yep, that robot is really good. I am the 20th person and I know. Okay, so it's about understanding that sometimes you have to ask another person for their expertise. 20th person is not about, oh, I know everything. Oh, I know everything. I know what you're supposed to do. I know this, I know that. Think about the kids that left the team, for example. Okay, they seem to know better. Oh, I'm going to get off this horse and go find a better horse. Okay, congratulations, go. We're just going to stay here. We're going to stay on this horse, and we're going to keep riding this ride that we're on. And well, girls, scoreboard, look where it's gotten you. It's gotten you to a pretty good place. It's not always going to be. You're not always going to be at the top for the rest of your life, but you're there now. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. And then you can keep coming back around. I got to thinking before I made this for you about the highs and lows that I've gone through in my career, and I was able to identify 7 peaks where I went really high up to the top, and then down goes the roller coaster. But then it comes back up again because life happens in cycles like that. And then came the 8th peak, and that was you guys. You guys were the 8th peak, and then I stopped coaching, at least for now. But I don't know if I'm going to coach again. But anyway, my point is, it goes in peaks. So if you're not, if 2 months from now you're not the number 1 team in the state, so what? That's just a list of teams. That doesn't change anything about you. Doesn't change anything about Coach Eddie and what he's trying to do with you. It's just a list. If they're going to have a list, it's nice to be at the top of that list. There's no better place to be. But if you're not at the top of the list, so what matters is, what are you doing? And are you being true to it? And are you listening to the right people? Are you being a good person? Are you treating each other with respect? And all of that stuff. That's what matters. All right, you don't need to hear any more of this from me. So I just wanted to share all that with you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Love you guys. And I'll be watching you. You'll see me one of these days, but not until this whole virus thing clears up. All right, all the best.